Both of the national papers had pictures of the kid, Sid the Kid, on the front page. He is a remarkable player and a real Canadian icon. And apparently he was a big hit in New York too, the Big Apple. But he's come back now. This is the second time this year because of complications with concussion. My guest, Glenn Allan, knows all about concussions. We're going to talk about that and the sexual abuse of young boys, and we've only got 4 minutes to do it, so we'll have to be really concise. But Glenn, first of all, you've had, as of last count, 17 concussions.
17 recorded concussions.
17 recorded concussions. Just really quickly, what does a concussion or several of them do to you?
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is for me finding words today, like a question like this, yeah. Finding the right words, searching them out. The biggest thing for me is fatigue, headaches, nausea. I think that sums it up in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, because you were on track perhaps to be an NHL player. You were playing junior hockey. You'd been scouted, and then you had an injury which kind of threw everything out of kilter. But back when you were a young guy playing, I mean, you didn't think about concussions. You just wanted to hit a guy as hard as you could, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they hit us and we hit them, and that's the way we played.
Do you think the game is going to change because of this? And this is Brain Awareness Week, by the way, which is very appropriate. Do you think things are going to change because of the sudden emergence of concussion incidents?
I don't think it's going to change until the players have, and we've talked about this, the NHLPA and the players, until players start having respect for one another, nothing's going to change. The NHL can baby, and the NHL, well, I'd like the NHLPA to take more responsibility, but until the NHL and until the players themselves begin to take responsibility, how much more time can the NHL and these guys baby these players? Yeah. Until they have respect for one another, nothing's going to change.
I wish we could talk more about it, but let's shift gears here. I've got an edition here of the Brant Connection, and right there on the front page is a picture of our guest, Glenn Allan, safe haven for male victims. Graham James is going to be sentenced later this month for his sexual abuse of young hockey players, specifically Theo Fleury,
yep.
Right?
And his brother, yeah.
And his brother. You experienced sexual abuse. Is this the dark underbelly of sports?
Well, of sports, it's been an untreated pandemic for so many generations. And I mean, with Martin Cruz coming forward, Sheldon, Theo, myself, and people like myself in so many different communities across Canada and the United States, it's now becoming the norm for men to come forward, and I think what we're seeing is finally that the boys were abused and are being abused, and now we see that in men coming forward and needing the assistance of their childhood sexual abuse. That's the only difference.
I was surprised to hear about Scouts Canada and the emergence there.
Well, and it's Scouts. We heard all about the Catholic Church, and everyone has come down on the Catholic Church, and they tried to hide it, as have other churches, as have Scouts Canada, as have minor sports, as have anywhere where there's kids, schools with teachers. You look at it, and for decades and generations, everyone's tried to push it under the carpet. And you can't do that. And it's all coming out. Now it's coming out. I mean, Penn State, that's only the tip of the iceberg in Penn State.
But you have a ministry called Hope for Men, and one of the books that you utilize is a book called Rebuilding Your House of Self-Respect, Men Recovering in Group from Childhood Sexual Abuse. There's a copy of the book. Yeah. And it's a very useful book to you and your work. And our time has flown by here. But just in a quick capsule, what is it that you are doing?
Well, basically, Hope for Men is a peer support group for adult male survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And anyone can go to crossroads.ca or my website. And what we do is we meet Monday nights here in Hamilton, Tuesday nights in St. Catharines, and we're hoping to have more of these groups across Ontario. And basically what we do is we give men a place to go where they can be with other men and discuss a like issue.
Right.
Very much like AA, NACA, and other places like that. These men can come to a place where they feel safe and they can actually say, I was sexually abused and I feel like this. And other men can go, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And they can feel safe enough and open up and begin to heal. And by doing that, you're going to see a whole whack, a huge domino, Jim, of things like domestic violence and so many other, 90% of long-term incarcerated males, 90% of those guys in there were sexually abused as children. And I know we have to go, but there's so many different things that are connected with sexual abuse of males.
Yeah,
that come out, and as we heal these men, so many other positive domino effects will happen in our society.
I think the combination of sexual abuse and fatherlessness is
huge,
absolutely toxic for a little boy. Hopeformen.webs.com. Get that web address, friend. hopesformen.webs.com. And you can find out all about Glenn Allan's ministry. He's certainly on the cutting edge, both with the concussion situation and also the sexual abuse situation, both of which have emerged lately. And he's a man with a message, and you're going to want to hear more about him. Thanks for coming our way.
My pleasure. Thank you.